Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the Mignon Show. I am your host, Mignon.
And I'm your co-host, Roz.
We want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys so much. And also, we just want to remind you, if this is your first time and you're tuning in and watching us on YouTube, to please subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
And also share all this good knowledge that you tune in every week and learn, and then just share with someone else, because you never know who may need the information.
Because we have awesome guests on here, awesome information. You never know. People reach out to us all the time for information on organization, things that happen in the community. So make sure you share and subscribe. We cannot say that enough, how we need those
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching, though. We definitely appreciate you guys watching us.
We do. We really, really do. So you guys know that this is June, the month of June, and it is PTSD Awareness Month. So that is post-traumatic stress disorder. So we are definitely going to be talking about that today. We are scheduled to have an awesome guest in the studio.
Yes.
We will see what happens, but right now we're just going to go into our girl chat and talk about everything what we have going on. So, hey, Roz.
Hey, girl.
How are you?
Booked, blessed, and busy.
Booked, blessed, and busy. You guys know how we do.
Yes, we do. We do.
So, how was your weekend?
It was good. I saw you yesterday.
Yes, you did.
That was good. I saw Mick yesterday because we were starting the production for a movie that we are in called No Bully Zone.
No Bully Zone.
Yeah, so the Manleys was up in there. Mignon was in there. A lot of people up in there. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that, because information is coming soon with all the bullying and stuff that's going on, and the kids committing suicide.
Oh, my goodness.
Not want to come to school because of what's going on. I mean, it's really, really sad. And as someone who's on both sides of it, like, we both have been in the school systems and to different things. So I think this movie is much needed.
Much needed. It is so needed. And just like, when you get to talking about bullying, and with one of our partners, James, with 3 for Me, he has an anti-bullying movement that he's pushing. And like I said, just with the staggering numbers that you hear. And so I will never forget this number, because it stays in my head, that 3.2 million children experience bullying each year.
Do you know how many children that is?
Are suffering in school. Suffering in school.
Some in silence.
Yeah.
Some not even saying anything. Then you see a 10-year-old committed suicide.
Yes.
And the numbers are. I was just listening to 104.1, and they was talking about how they was talking about how Taraji was talking about.
Yes,
how,
I was going to talk about that.
A lot,
yes.
But the numbers are getting younger and younger when our babies 10,
yes.
8. And so for thinking about, we should be playing with toys.
Yes.
And, but no, they're committing suicide.
And they're even contemplating suicide as early as 5 years old. I'm like, wow. At 5?
I have a 6-year-old. So
that's 5.
That's a lot to take in, to know that a 5-year-old, when they should be learning how to read and write and meet new friends and things, they are
living in a world with butterflies and unicorns,
like Miss Imani just
said.
No, they're not. They living in a world of fear. They're thinking about how to take their life, and all of it is horrific, but when you think about how they're strangling themselves and things like that, I'm like, oh my goodness, like they really thought this out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they really had a plan to end their life because they couldn't deal with the evils and the troubles of the world.
Absolutely.
And some parents don't know. Other parents are trying, like they doing all the blue forms. And I always talk about these forms you fill out in school, but they're doing the blue forms and the pink forms and doing everything. Look at James, like we talked about. James, one of the partners here. Look at what he's doing, what he's been through, and the movement that he is trying to do. I mean, it's just crazy.
It's crazy. Sad. It is sad, but I'm so thankful to Roosevelt Jackson, who has picked up this issue and really want to deal with it on a bigger level. Because, we talk here on the show with you being in the school system, and I'm always like, and having younger nieces and nephews that's in the school, and when these issues come up, is that the school don't know how to handle it. And even learning one of James's one of James's stats. It talks about how the children feel as though the school system is not prepared to even handle what's going on. So it's just, I'm telling you guys, we have got to deal with this issue. We have got to deal with this, and I am so glad.
It's dealing with us.
Yes.
It's dealing with us, our babies, our young children. I even know when I call you to tell you about Imani, how, you know, we sit on a conversation like we got to do more. Like, we sit on the phone for a long time when we talking about what's going on with these kids in the school.
Absolutely.
The bullying, the self-esteem, just all the issues that go along with that. So, Roosevelt, again, we can't thank you enough for putting this movie together, having the children come out. It was great yesterday just to be there to start the production. You guys definitely make sure you stay tuned about that. My hope is that we all come together for this film, that it starts conversations in households. Like I said, some parents don't even know what their children are going through, because some children don't even know how to express themselves or to talk about the things that they are dealing with in school. So, or out of school, the bus stop, you know, different things. So, it was great to be there yesterday.
It was
for this
awesome.
much needed
thing.
And James was there, one of our party. He was there too. So.
And I think it was so awesome because if you guys follow us on Facebook, Roosevelt, he has released a teaser for this movie, and it was awesome. It was giving the bully's perspective of a young girl, and she's just an actress.
Yes, and she
but
did
she
awesome.
was amazing.
I was like, where my belt at? Like,
she was amazing.
She was.
But when she was talking about that, of just coming from the bully's perspective, is that they don't look at it as bullying. They look at it just like, you know,
sign of strength and weakness.
Exactly.
That's what she said.
Exactly.
She was like, they can call me anything, but they will not call me weak. And I was like, oh my goodness. Because you had to get into what's going on in the bully's mind. Also, we need to help them also to deal with the issues that they're dealing with. And when she said that, when I looked at the child, I said, oh my goodness. And in her mind, this is not about her being bullied. This is about her being strong. So I have to put on this facade so nobody won't think that I'm weak, and this is how you show it. And when you think about it, I'm like, this is what's going on.
That's the mindset. That's what we have to understand. Like, we have to understand the mindset of today's child and what they're going through. We can't keep on saying, well, it was different when we were in school. That all may be true, but today is a different day and a different time. So we have to understand it from their point of view and where they're coming from. That way, so we can find out how do we come together to be able to help all parties, the bully and the victim. Because we know that even with bullying, a lot of them are people who have been victimized before, and now they just feel that they're taking a stand.
The tables turn. That's all it is. They do it to, doing it to someone else. So we have to crack down on this, because we're losing our future. We're losing our future. Our future doctors, the people that are supposed to be taking care of us, that lead us, like, we're losing them at record numbers. And like, Mignon gave you that status with that number. We're talking about millions of children. We're not talking, so we're talking about the kids next door to you. We're talking about the kids behind you. Like, we're talking about your child that possibly is going through it or doing it. Like, we really need to have these conversations so that we can deal with this issue.
Absolutely.
Because it's getting ridiculous.
Absolutely. And another stat that I learned from James is that it said that 16,000 students skip school daily because of bullying. So are you a parent who is left out and thinking that your child is in school and who knows where they may be because they're afraid to go to school because of a different type of bullying that's going on. So family, parents, we have grandparents, guardian, whoever, aunts, uncle, it's going to take the whole village to check in with the children to see what's going on with them and checking up.
Have those conversations. And when they come to you, this is the one thing I don't like. When we teach our little boys, like, don't cry or toughen up or, don't be weak. And then when I heard this little girl say, like, they can call me anything, but they won't call me weak. I'm like, because we're telling our little boys, and sometimes our little girls too, but we're telling our little boys, oh man, you can do this, you can handle this, don't be weak, this and this and this, somebody hit you. Like, it goes deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the mental mindset of our children they don't know how to deal with some of the things that we know how to deal with, or we did know how to deal with growing up. The things are different now. So please, please, please have a conversation with your children. come out and see the movie.
Yes.
And see the teaser, because the teaser was really...
And follow us on our social media pages so you can definitely keep up with what's going on. We're going to be putting out trailers and different things we're going to be doing, preparing for the release of this movie. And you guys got to come out and support it. Bring your children, everybody, so you can be able to have something to start the conversation. Sometimes we need material to start the conversation, and you never know, the movie might do it. It may touch your child in such a way that they say, you know what, mommy, that's me, or you know, I have been mistreating people like that, and I never knew I was a bully. You'd be amazed at what people know
and don't know.
You know, sometimes it's like in domestic violence, you know, we think it's so common with domestic violence and victims and abusers, but you'll be amazed at how many abusers and victims that do not even know that they are abusers and victims.
Yep, they don't know.
So you can't assume that they should know or this and that, because I tell you, y'all, you don't know and they do not know.
And that's why education and awareness is so important. That's why we continue to use our platform for all these different things. I know even for domestic violence, you know, when you talk about domestic violence, people always think that it's physical.
Yes.
You know, I was one of those people also. And then when you learn it, I'm like, my God, this stems way back than before when I thought it was stem back, because I didn't know all of this. Same thing with bullying. Some of the children don't even know that they bully. Some of them just trying to be your friend, and this is the way that they know how to be friends.
Exactly.
Put their hands on you, or say you ugly, or say your mama, not knowing the mindset of another person. So that's why this movie is so important in these conversations, these table conversations with your kids at the dinner table. How was your day? You know, what's going on? It's so important, because we need to get our community back, and we need to help our children. Like you said, what was it, 16,000?
16,000 per day skip school.
Look at the TV, how many kids are missing every single day. It's always an Amber Alert or help me find this missing child all the time. So that lets you know that we ain't just make these numbers up. We see them every single day. Kids are missing. It used to annoy me when the school ring my phone in the morning when my child not there, and then I'm like, I know he had a doctor's appointment. I've never appreciated that so much in my life now. Because in my school, they call you in the morning, and so my middle son, he has different classes. Each class that he missed, if he missed another class, it keeps ringing my phone.
Well, that is so good, because I remember back in the day, they only would used to call you if you missed homeroom.
Yep, that's it.
You know, and then if you come later, then you wouldn't get no more calls. But that's good to be able to call for each class. That way you'll know.
Your son missed 6th period. Your son missed 2nd period. And at first I did not like, and then I'm like, you know what? Keep on with the calls, because at least I know. So if it was, because last week it was like he missed 6th period. I'm calling up the school like, what you mean he missed 6th period? Luckily, he was in a test and they forgot to take him out. But at least I knew. I didn't have to wait till the school bus come to know, like, he could have been missing the whole day.
Absolutely. So, absolutely. And that is so important, because, you know, I remember some of the alerts where people were saying that the kids didn't come home from school, but it was turning out that they never even got to school.
Never even got there.
So, and then, you know, like with that, okay, you got 6 hours of school, and let's say like 8 hours, eight hours, you got 8 hours ahead of you of somebody that then snatched up your child with all these human trafficking. That's going on, where they would throw your child in the van. In 8 hours, you could be where? In Atlanta? Exactly. I mean, halfway to Atlanta.
On a flight
or somewhere out the country. I mean, you just don't know what can happen. That's a lot of time.
I didn't even realize how much I appreciate those phone calls until all of this stuff came out.
Absolutely.
Now I appreciate it. So use the tools, use the resources. Like you said, like we said, subscribe to our station. We always have awesome people coming on talking about everything that's happening in our community. That's what we talk about. We're talking about the real issues that's happening in our community, our families, our children. We're bringing you resources, people that can help you. We're using this platform to reach you, to reach our community, so that we can strengthen and grow our community, because we have to do better.
Absolutely.
We have to do better.
Absolutely. And on that note, we are definitely going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about PTSD. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be right back.
Yeah. It's been a long time ill. Hey, I watch the Margaret. We're gonna start off in cruise control for you, baby. And nice and easy, Miller. Gonna do this for all the sexy Aquarians in here. Happy birthday to you, baby. Let the pocket watch here. Happy birthday to Miss Sabrina. Yes, right, baby. What you say, baby? I'm coming to you. And Mr. Danny got a birthday. Happy birthday to you, Danny. What you got for me, baby? A Big Paul. Happy B-Day to Big Paul. Watch the pocket, watch here. And Lauren got a birthday. That's coming from the sexy Troy. Too smooth, Troy. That's right, that's right. Shout out to all the sexy Aquariuses in here. All right. Hey, I Belladonna, watch the clock do the work. He's up on him, Cherie. Sweet Cherie, baby. Yes, indeed. Hey.
Take the lead tonight, who it's gonna be. I'm gonna sit right here, tell you all that comes to me. If you have something to say, you should say it right now. You ready? You give me a feeling that I've never felt before, and I deserve it. You know I deserve it. It's becoming something that's impossible to know. It is what we make it, but I was wondering maybe if I make you my baby, if we do the unthinkable, would it make us look crazy? Well, if you ask me, I'm ready. I'm ready. Well, if you ask me, I'm ready. I know you have said to me, this is exactly how it should do. It's meant to be. Time is of the earth, so why wait for eventually? If we gon' do something right, we should do it right now. Yeah. Oh.
Hello and welcome back to the Mignon Show. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. So I just wanted to share something with you. Last week, we lost one of our other personalities here. So it is with great sadness that we inform you the passing of Bruce Gilmore of the Talk Around the Town show here on Voxway. Bruce passed away on June 5th, 2019. He had been a valued member of our team since February 2018 and will be greatly missed. So please keep Bruce's family and friends in your thoughts as they go through this difficult time. So we just want to say, your show, Bruce. It was awesome. You and your other co-host that was here, and your presence will definitely be missed here on Vox Wave. So rest in peace, my brother.
Rest in peace.
All right. So, guys, what we're going to do, our guest, we are waiting for our guest to call in, Miss Queen of Fee, with Domestic Violence Wears Many Tags. So we're just going to chit-chat until the phone, until the phone gets to ringing. And so, guys, as we said with PTSD, you know, PTSD is definitely something that in our community that we need to talk about and deal with. You know, May was just mental health awareness, so this all just ties in together. Yeah. And just to understand, we have to, y'all, I'm telling you, it's so important for us to get educated on the things that affect us, because a lot of times, you know, we hear about PTSD and we only think about the military.
Yep, always.
I'm telling you, it's not just about the military. It's about anyone who have experienced any traumatic experience in their lifetime. It can be a car accident. I mean, even from childhood, there's childhood trauma of abandonment and rejection and unlove from a parent not being there, how you were raised, if it was a lot of physical abuse that you have went through. And it just stays with you, and it's triggered. So, you know, sometimes we be around people and, you know, we be like, that sounds just like how my quote unquote father used to act. And then all of a sudden you're gonna build up this resistance. You're gonna now you on guard, and you're ready to go full force, because it's reminding you of a trauma that you have been through, and it has nothing to do with the person.
Nope.
And that's why a lot of times and I'm going to say in relationships, a lot of times where, you know, two people are in relationships and things that are triggered and they can't move forward because they don't even know why. They don't even know why that is even happening.
And that's so true. Even in my marriage, you know, there were some things like I had to sit down and have a conversation with my husband when I realized how bad it has gotten. And I'm like, it's not you. It's not even you. I can't even explain what it is because I'm trying to deal with this myself. So I thank God how patient that my husband is, because certain triggers I didn't even realize. There was a name for. I didn't even realize. And so that's why we was talking last week when I said there are certain movies I can't watch, or certain things I can't take, like a man hollering at me or in my face, like I snap like so quickly, and I don't even realize that I snapped or that it has done this to me. And in a relationship, it's very, very, you have to communicate in a relationship the best way you could, and that's what I had to do the best way that I could communicate it, because I didn't even know myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we think that is our call.
Yep, that may be her. Let's see. Hello, caller.
Hello, it's Queen of Fee.
Hi, Queen. How are you today?
Hello.
Good. Hello. Y'all have to forgive me today.
All is
I had
forgiven.
these little munchkins that just had me lose track of time. Oh my God.
Well,
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It is okay. Well, you are here now, and you are definitely live on the Mignon Show with co-host Roz. And so what we want you to do is introduce yourself to our listeners and our viewers.
All right. Well, peace and love, everybody. It's Queen of Fee, the founder of Domestic Violence Wears Many Tags organization. I founded in 2008. I wanted an organization that could speak both to victims and abusers, women, men, and teens, and, you know, educate them on the many tags of domestic violence, which is verbal, emotional, sexual, financial, and physical abuse.
Absolutely, and we were just talking about that in a segment before you came on, and we were talking about how it's so important for people to get educated on the different tags of domestic violence, because a lot of times people only know about physical.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. I'm finding that, you know, a lot of times people only know about the physical, so they wait in some of these relationships. They don't really get hip to the verbal abuse right away until it gets physical.
Right.
And then they look back over and say, it was verbal, it was financial, you know, it was sexual. I didn't even pay attention to this. All I know is about the physical. And I have victims, women and men, tell me that.
Yeah.
Teen boys and girls.
Absolutely.
I've had many conversations when I'm talking to someone, they talk about it, and they're like, no, it's not domestic violence because he don't put his hands on me. And I'm like, wait, we need to educate because it goes way before that. We try to stop that before that even happened. But the verbal abuse, you know, the mental, and they don't know, and that's why we have to continue to educate our people.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I know even when I had found out about emotional abuse, and it was stating, I found out that even when somebody give you that quote unquote silent treatment, that's emotional abuse. And I used to I used to date a guy who used to do that to me, you know, would stop communication for a few days and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I learned to adapt to his behavior and say, okay, well, I got 2 days to do whatever I want to do. And not even knowing that I was being emotionally abused because it bothered me when he didn't talk to me because I didn't know what he was doing.
Right. True. Because who can be in a relationship without communication?
No one.
Nobody.
No relationship is successful without communication. And that's a part of the emotional, being able to, you know, talk and learn from your partner or learn from your children or learn from, you know, your family members. Being able to have that social and emotional connection is one of the greatest things about relationships.
We was talking about that. Communication is key in all relationships, regardless if it, you know, husband or wife, friendships, all types of relationships. You need to know how to properly communicate with each other.
Absolutely. So, Queen, we do know that you have your, I'm going to say it's your motto that you push so much about having that dinner table conversation about domestic violence. Tell our listeners right now, how can they start that dinner table conversation, whether it's with their children or with their mates?
Okay, good question. Dinner table conversation. How real can I get?
Very real. We want it real.
Okay. So it's not bitch fuck you. It's not you dumbass motherfucker. It's not you some stupid ass children. Go to your room. Go get on your phone. That's not dinner table conversation for a family. Family dinner table conversation can look like a word. It can look like, okay, let's see how everybody's feeling, because the dinner table is where we want to see how everybody's feeling. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent. So pick a word. You can pick 2 words. You can pick joy, and then you can pick depression. Have everybody go around the table and talk about how they feel about joy and what experiences they had with joy for the day. And then have everybody go around the table and say, what do we feel about depression? Okay? And on the back of your cue card, go ahead and write down the definition of the word on the back of the card, because you want to be clear about what the dictionary say the word means. Because, you know, we have a tendency of giving words their own definition.
Absolutely. That is so true.
You know, we give words our own definition. We call a brother sensitive and say he a punk. Well, that's not what the definition of sensitive is.
Right.
Okay? The definition of sensitive or insensitive is linked to feeling. How you feel today. What are you insensitive about, or what are you sensitive about? Okay? So write the actual definition of the word on the back of your cue card once you put it out there on the dinner table for everybody to talk about. You can do this while everybody's eating. You know, you can do it. It's best to have everybody sit down at the table and we all do it together. So if you want to do it while you're eating, or if you want to do it just before you close out dinner time, take that time to do that. Because that is going to make your family members, your partner, your friends feel so comfortable inside emotionally. Wow, like, and the children wait for you to ask them about words like deceit, deception. You know, they want to know, you know,
and trust and loyalty.
And trust and loyalty. Yes. They want to know what these words mean from their own dinner table. Okay? Now, I can teach him the words now as the abuser. I can teach your children the words if you can't.
Yeah, now come
is
on
true.
now.
That
Come
is
on now. Let's talk about that.
That is true.
Now, I can teach your children the words if you can't teach them. I can fill your child up and give them what they need if you can't do it. And then you wondering why your child is over my house.
Mm-hmm.
You wondering why your child ready to leave you and come with me at any given time. You wonder why your child sneaks off the computer, girl or boy, because I can get whichever one I want to get.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as the abuser, I can get whichever one I want, whichever child I want to get, I can get them. Okay, and you wonder why that child go missing.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't teach them, the world will.
Yeah, and you know,
All the time, it ain't human trafficking. All the time, it could be one person behind that computer that lure your child to a location, and you never see him again.
yeah, yeah. And Queen, you know, it's another thing that we talk about here on the show. We're talking about when we're dealing with our children. You know, sometimes parents feel as though that their children are not old enough to have this conversation. And so, you know, a lot of times they like to pussyfoot around it. But we try to explain to them that when the abuser come at your child, they're not pussyfooting.
Nope.
No.
At that age or any of that. Better have
No.
conversations now.
Yeah, most times the abuser know all the words. Like, we're really intelligent. We know words. We do our homework. Okay, so the age group that that I like to see people start, and research would like to see people start, is at least 5 years old.
Absolutely.
At least 5 years old, you start teaching your child about the good touch, bad touch. Because see, children, there's a such thing as child-on-child sexual abuse. See, so you still need to teach them at a young age, because it could be another child that lures your child.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, so we need them to know what good touch is, what bad touch is at a young age. Not only that, I have a 2-year-old. I'm working with a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old myself, and they're very curious about the body parts.
Yep.
What's that, and what's that, and what's that, and what I got. And what I'm supposed to have and what I should have.
That is true.
And I tell them. I don't say wee, pop.
I talked
Yeah.
about that. I said that. Yep. That is so true.
I say you have a vagina.
Yes.
Yep. The proper medical terms.
That's
Parents,
right.
please teach your child the right word.
Yes.
None of this
We
wee
must teach
and
them the right
cootie
word.
cats and all these other kind of words that y'all done made up. Please, that does not hold up.
Coochie.
Oh
Girl,
my
cover that coochie
goodness.
up.
I don't even know where that stuff started at. I hate it. No. And I'm glad you said that, because I have a daughter who is 6, and I remember I told my husband that we needed to have to talk with her about, touch and unwanted touch. And he was like, really? I'm like, yes. We had to talk to her now. We talked to her when she was 5. We sit down and read a book. It was a great book for her. But her questions afterwards had my husband floored. I'm like, you think that she wasn't going to ask these type of questions? We don't know what the world then already put in her ear. She go to school with other kids who, may not have these conversations or may be curious and things like that. So it is definitely, we have to have these conversations with our boys and our girls now.
That's right.
Now.
That's right.
The time is now.
They attend schools with children that are probably victims of domestic violence and those many tags that it wears. So we got to equip our children
Amen.
for that early on.
Amen.
The other thing that's going to be important in here real quick is DNA. DNA is very important when we're at that dinner table talking. When we're at the dinner table and the children are asking, "Who am I?" Basically, what they're asking is, "How was I conceived?"
Right.
They want to know if they were conceived out of love. They want to know where was it at. They want to know how did it happen. That's what they're asking questions about, who their DNA is and what they are directly connected to. Am I more like mommy? Am I more like daddy? So I would suggest, again, for the dinner table, another treat would be a DNA vision board.
That's nice.
Okay, where you can have the children actually get the cardboard, and get pictures of y'all family, get pictures of colors, get pictures of things that similar as mommy, pictures of things that similar as daddy, and then have baby figure out where they fit into that.
like that. I do like that. I like that. That's very neat.
Very good. Okay, so that's another fun treat at the dinner table where we're teaching that child who they are, and that gives them the room to say, well, Mommy, did y'all make love or did y'all have sex?
Lord Jesus.
See, those transparent questions like that, we get an opportunity to answer those questions for them. We get an opportunity to be real. And it's so sad when moms have to say, you was conceived out of rape.
Right.
You know.
Because we have to be honest with our children. We need to let them know what's what. We have to be honest with them. Have those honest conversations. I definitely love the table talk conversation. We definitely do that at our house. And because my family is big, we got 8 seats, you know, at the table. Sometimes the conversations kind of go wild, but I'm telling my husband's like, we have to be prepared for whatever. And so our children know whatever they come to. And we don't do the things that you talked about, but I like it, so we definitely want to implement that, especially the DNA board. But some of the conversations that they have or some of the things that they tell us they experience or the questions, it's just like, wow, I'm glad that they feel comfortable enough to bring this conversation to the table where we can educate them and talk to them about that, and then put any kind of plugs we might need to plug in. And we need to do more of that as families. We need to no eating upstairs, this one eating this place, this one eating that. Nope, come to the table, eat together as a family. We need to strengthen our family.
Yes, and let's talk about your day.
Very good, but add words in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put words in there because the abuser knows words.
I like it. I like it.
And that's so. And Queen, you are so right when you say that about the words and the definition, because back in February for Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, we had about 10 youth in the studio. We did a workshop with them. And the word loyalty came up, and mostly every child in this studio had a different definition of what loyalty meant to them.
Yes, they did.
And we always do that. We always do that.
Loyalty, love, and life.
Yes, like loyalty. They had loyalty in so many different definitions. When you need to look it up, you know, we need to get better with putting those words out there for our youth, for our young people, our babies, to identify words of feeling. Yes, we know joy, and when you go to church, everybody know hallelujah, joy, praise Him, okay, courage, all right. Yes, we get that. But what about betrayal?
Right.
Yep.
What about lies? You know, what about cunningness? What about deceit? What about discreet? You see, these are the words that the abuser knows. But then when I talk to your child, they don't know, and I know they don't know the word. Because I'm an abuser, so I know they don't know the word. You see what I mean? So that's why I say it's very important that we, for a fun treat at the dinner table, to be able to incorporate words. You can incorporate colors, because a lot of times our children don't know what the colors mean.
Yeah.
Okay? And teaching them what it means to wear orange, what it means to wear red, what it means to wear blue. These are all good colors. These symbolize good and not so good psychological effects on us. Colors do. Right? So adding these fun implements into our dinner table conversation, I'm telling you, the children are going to love you because you threw a word out there.
I got my cue
Absolutely.
In my head already.
And it's so true, because, you know, a lot of times with us, dealing with children and the youth, is that they just want to be heard and understood.
I agree.
They want to be heard and understood. So when you stop and pay attention to what's going on with them, they will open up and they will love you for that, because they'll be like, somebody do care, because they live in a world where nobody cares about me or what I do.
Them 10 kids we had in here was opening up to us.
Yes.
They were like, I mean, even when we got down to lie, the word lie to them, it was totally different. Big lie versus a little lie.
Yeah, they only stipulations.
We were so confused, like, what? What do you mean a lie is a lie? No, there's big lies. We don't accept the big lies, but we accept the little lies.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's why, and you know the abuse, we tell all kind of lies.
Exactly. And when they told us that, Queen, if you should have seen me and Mick's face, we were so stuck, and June was here too, we were so stuck like, wait, there's a different and a lie? Like, you know,
Right.
but they opened up to us. It was 10 teenagers in here. Everyone opened up. Nobody was quiet. And they all
Females
had a
and
different-
males.
Females
and males.
And we had 2 couples
That's
in
tight.
here. We had 2 couples also in here.
Wow, that's tight.
And the conversation was amazing. Everybody talked, but when we heard their different definitions and things like that, we like, there's still so much work that we need to do with our children.
Yeah.
So much work. And they
Yeah,
were
you
from
could tell.
13 to 17 was the
Yeah,
oldest.
13 to 17.
Oh, yeah, and that group, then they all confused. That group right there, they all confused.
Yes,
They
they
had
are.
us confused because
Yeah.
I literally was like so stuck when they talked. Everyone had a different definition for loyalty, for lie. They had different expectations in their relationships. What was abuse? I mean, it was a great segment to hear these shows. And like I said, those were 10 children, different schools, DC and Maryland schools, different ages. And we had some couples in here. So the conversations need to be held because they had them with us with no problem. That show could have went on for longer.
Absolutely.
And
Right,
the parents
right.
were outside and looking. We had some parents asking us questions. They were crying too because they couldn't believe some of the stuff that their children were saying or asking us.
Yeah.
Wow. In order to be a great parent or try to come close, truth and transparency must be a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot raise a child hiding things and keeping secrets. And, I'm not going to talk about this and tell, I'm not going to talk about. Well, you can change the language. You can make the language fit a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
You can make the language fit a 13-year-old. You can make the language fit a 16-year-old. But you're going to be saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
You're going to be saying the same thing the whole time. It's just like with Blake's mom. Blake is 3 years old, so I'm telling her, that's your mommy. She not here, right? She with Jesus now. Okay, but then when Blake get like 11 year old, then I got to drive her over to the cemetery and physically show her your mom is in there.
Right.
See? And then when she gets 16, then we really going to have a conversation.
About the real what's going on.
Right.
About the real, then I'm going to whip the evidence out on her and let her see all that.
Mm-hmm.
See, but I'm having a conversation with her now.
Right.
See,
Right.
she's incorporated in everything right now, from the time that it happened all the way up until now.
Mm-hmm.
We're having a conversation. So you can't wait to do things. You can change the language, but you got to be talking about it to them the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to say something to you. Children perceive a lie as a lie.
Yeah.
It's a lie to them. And you may be saying, I'm just trying to protect you. I can say, Blake, I'm just trying to protect you. I didn't want to hurt you. That's why I could never tell you that your father killed your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She going to say, no, you lied to me.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
See,
true.
and she's going to be right. I will be lying to her.
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean? So a lie is a lie. There's no such thing as a big lie and a little lie, a white lie. I grew up on Don't You Tell That White Lie.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Now, how you mix the color white, which means purity, cleanliness, with a lie?
Mm-hmm.
How you put them two together?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, I don't understand it, but a lie is a lie. To a child, a lie is a lie.
Yeah. That is cool. That
So-
right there. That's powerful, Queen. That's really powerful. Yeah, but we gotta get this together.
Yep.
Because the way everything is going on, like we were talking about the bullying and the domestic violence and all these things, we got to get a hold of this.
Yes.
Because it's affecting children younger and younger. We were talking earlier, and we were saying that, children as early as 5 years old are contemplating suicide
Yeah.
because of bullying and things that's going on in the school system, or even just different traumas that they're going through.
Yeah. They're seeing a lot more trauma, a lot younger.
And
A
even
lot younger.
yeah, and another thing, even with I'm gonna touch on a little bit of this also, even just like with the gun violence, in DC with a lot of the gun violence and everything that's going on, and we're not even really dealing with that, with the trauma of that with children in school, because Or even when they commit suicide. You know, a lot of times they commit suicide and you have your peers at school and all of a sudden that student is no longer there and your mom and them telling you, oh, well, they died or this and that child gets no help for that.
Nope. Or just that one day, I feel like it goes on social media, right? And then counselors are standing by to deal with the children. And then what happens when those counselors leave? Because the counselors don't stay.
Yeah.
They only there for that day or so. And then these children have to deal with that. And nobody is talking to them. Nobody is helping them to cope. So we have children growing up that do not know how to deal with their hurt, with their emotions, with these different emotions. They don't know how to deal with them because we did not equip them with how to deal with them. It's going to be okay, or, you know, this will happen, she died, and it was a tragedy, and that's
Get over it, toughen up.
Get over it, toughen up, especially our boys, toughen up, be a man. You can't be a man at 5. How you tell a boy to be he's 5. He don't know how to be a man. Or even have any men around him to show him how to be a man anyway.
Right.
A little girl don't know how to be. She's a girl. She's not a woman. Or have any women figure around her showing her what it is to be a woman, what that definition is.
Yeah,
Not
that's
those
true.
cue card words.
Yeah, the gun violence is taking a toll on America.
Especially
Yeah.
in schools,
You know,
especially in
and
schools.
students all across the globe, and in households all across the globe.
Yep.
But the other thing is what goes on in my house stays in my house. There's still a lot of that going on.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
It's
There's
still a lot of that going on.
of that being taught. And so we don't really get what we need to get from that child because they threat. That's a threat.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a threat
That's
to
a
a
threat.
child. What goes on in my house stays in my house. And if you go out my motherfucking door and tell anybody what's going on here, I'll beat your face into the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, they know who they are.
Yep.
They know who they are. It's a lot of that going on.
That is
You know,
true.
or it's don't go out my house and say nothing because we could lose everything.
Yeah.
You can run the risk
You
of
want
us
them to take
losing
you away
everything.
from mommy?
And you want them to take you away from
Yep.
me.
Yep.
You know, you don't want to see mommy and daddy no
Yep.
more. It's still a threat.
Yep.
Yes. And that's
It's still a threat.
traumatizing in itself.
In itself. And you are absolutely right. Like I say, in the school system,
Mm-hmm.
seeing a lot and hearing a lot, and I'm like, oh my goodness, we had to get away from this. I definitely was brought up what goes on in this house and stays in this house. I hated that because then I grew up to be a broken woman trying to figure out who I was and deal with the things I deal with. So I don't play that in my household. What goes on in this household, the whole world gonna know. If it's somebody that can help me or mine deal with it, then that's what we gonna do, because I don't want them to grow up to be like me or like the
Right.
people I know, broken, trying to figure out who they are, how to heal from the traumas that they deal with, because they was not allowed to talk about their traumas.
Right.
No, let's talk about it right now.
And then a lot of times, you know, in those households, you know, you can't talk about it because the parents is not even equipped to sit and have a conversation because they don't even know.
Like you talk about generational curses, it's been
Yeah.
passed down to them.
Yeah, they don't even know.
They don't even know what they
And
dealing with.
they would even shut down on you and throw the silent treatment on you.
Yes.
And the children, the moms and dads are a lot younger now, and grandmas are like 25, 35.
Grandma.
You know, and they ain't got
They
time
are.
to be dealing with no children. Look, I done raised you 18, 19 now, you got your own child. Like, I'm about to do me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So the grandmas are much younger. They
They
trying
are.
to get out there and finish living their life. They don't really have time
Yeah. Thank God I'm
to
not
help
there
their
yet.
children
Thank you, Jesus.
groom their children. You see what I mean? But if you didn't really raise your child, then you damn sure ain't going to help with your grandchild.
You come on now.
Sure enough
You
not.
see what I mean? So, I mean, somewhere, and that goes for fathers too. It's a lot of absentee fathers, you know, that are not there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you got DNA over here, you got DNA over there. Okay. Okay. Yes, go ahead. Okay. All right, kill me, y'all. Because you got DNA over here, you done got a baby mama over here, you got DNA over there, you got DNA over, you got too much DNA everywhere.
Woo, come on now.
It's hard to be in one place with all them children at one time trying to raise them all. That's why you only supposed to have one mate, one baby mother. You know, that's the theory behind that. But it's so many different households with so many different DNA in there, it's hard to raise them all.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? Because you can have a role model there. Okay, that's a role model. That's not the biological father of the child. That person's DNA cannot substitute the biological DNA of the child.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why it's important that children know who they come from biologically. You know, and yes, we have some messed up situations where children, you know, are left on doorsteps. You know, they tossed in trash cans. You know, they left with people. They adopt out. Them children still want to know who their DNA is connected to.
That's true.
You see what I mean? And yes, grandma and grandpa tried to do the best that they could do, but it's not a direct connection to your DNA. Okay? And that's going to be the same thing for me and my grandchild. I know her mom's DNA, but I don't know her daddy's DNA.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything really about their DNA.
Right.
But the only thing I could do is help her with her mother's DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God that her mother's, the father's mom has stepped up, so she'll be able to know it that way.
That's good. That's a blessing.
Okay, so she'll be able to identify with who she really is.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? And where she come from, the bloodline that she come from. We want to tell people, oh, go look up Dr. Martin Luther King. You want to tell your child, go look up Dr. That's not the bloodline that they connected to unless you can show me some paperwork. Unless you can show me some paperwork, that's not their bloodline.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The bloodline is your mother, your father. You 50% your mother, you 50% your father, which makes that child 100%. Who are they? They not Coretta Scott, Harriet Tubman, and some of the other great ones. Okay? Unless you can show me some paperwork.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? So we gotta get smart about educating and parenting children. Fathers that are missing need to step up to the plate and say, look, I think I could be that child's father.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get a paternity test? See, because it's not about you. It's about the DNA of the child.
That's true.
That we need them to understand who they are and not slavery, who they are. Because slavery is not who they are. If you just had that child a year ago, how the hell are they connected to slavery? Get out my face with that crap.
Right, right. Talk about the real issues and things that's affecting that child. Because slavery is not affecting them in the way of what we need to deal with at this moment.
Daggone right.
So,
if that child got mental illness, it ain't, and that child was born 7 years ago, it ain't connected to no slavery.
Mm-hmm.
It's somewhere in the immediate bloodline that child has a potential mental illness. Now, is it on the father's side or the mother's side? Is it on both sides?
Mm-hmm.
Who else has battled with mental illness like this in the family where we got children being diagnosed at 7 years old on Ritalin and all of these other drugs that numb them and don't answer the questions that they want to get answered, which is, who am I?
That is so true. So we know, Queen, you have an event that's coming up. So talk about your event real quick and let our guests, our listeners know how they can register for the event and where is that?
Okay, I'm going to keep it real simple. We're doing the 7th annual panel for Men Hurt Too, because as you know, or you don't know, the Violence Against Women Act does not include men victims of domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
It includes men abusers, but it doesn't include men victims of domestic violence. So we've been doing this panel to get men to the forefront to share their story. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be this Saturday at Deanwood Recreation Center. Doors open at 12:30. It's for free. And the age is 16 and up, because we want to deal with the young adult brain all the way up until them 70-year-old grumpy men that still ain't got together. Yeah, come on out to the event and get you some education, because men are not as educated on domestic violence and mental illness, mental health, as they think they are. Mm-hmm. They are really lacking in this conversation, in this education. You can reach me at 202-821-8933 if you're interested in hearing more or coming out and participating. Give me a call up.
Okay, give them your telephone number one more time.
202-821-8933.
Awesome. Well, Queen,
can I ask y'all a quick question?
Yes.
Can I ask y'all one quick question?
Yes.
Give me one thing you learned.
I learned that I'm going to start having words at my dinner table. Cue cards, I already got a couple of words in my head, so I think that was very valuable, and we're definitely going to do DNA boards since I do have a blended family in my household.
All right, good
Absolutely.
job. What about you, Mitch?
Well, it's just me in my household. It's just me. I'm not raising no children. I don't have no mate. So everything I learned is for my own peace of mind.
I can't with her.
I love y'all. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening. All right.
I cannot with you. Well, come on over to our dinner table. You will have a laugh and
but
a
I'm
meal.
preparing because
Yeah, you
even
have
though
your
with me like
grandbabies.
raising my children, like one thing about me when I was raising my children, we always ate together because I remember growing up, like my grandmother, she like instilled certain things in us, even though it was dysfunction. But it's some dysfunction, but then some things is functional.
Right.
And so I learned that. And so me and my children, we always sat down at the table to eat together and always wanted to have conversations with them. But even just learning more now is that, back then I didn't push the conversations. Like they would be like saying what I wanted to hear. Oh, mommy, everything was good. And they would have certain conversations. But we never really got into that deep underlying conversations.
Right.
So now I'm learning now that as my grandchildren grow older, that I will be able to have those more deeper conversations instead of just so surface.
Got it. And that's important because what is good?
Mm-hmm.
Good to you and good to me can be two different goods.
Absolutely.
So that is good.
Absolutely.
That was great.
It was great.
Thank you so much for calling in on us. Definitely appreciated that. You guys know you can always find me on Manly's Blended Family on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can check out our website, manlysblendedfamily.com.
Absolutely. And you guys can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at NBA Speaks. And you can also check out my website, nbaspeaks.com. We definitely want to thank you guys again for tuning in with us each and every week. Again, if you are an entrepreneur, an author, a politician, or someone with a story or a cause that you would like to come and share with us and just get it out to the masses, please follow up with us. Go to our website, to Roz information, my information, and let us know that you would like to be a guest. And also, if you're looking to have your own show,
call her up.
Call me
Voxwave, baby.
Call me up. Go to my, send me an email at voxwavesales@gmail.com. And let me see what I can do for you. So thank you again for tuning in. We love you guys. Thank you and have a great night.
Good night.
Yeah! Come on! Come on! Hey baby, this is DJ Cool up in this jump.